Any Muslim that persecutes a Christian should burn in hell, bro. Simple. I'll say it right here in front of the whole world. Okay? But it's not as easy. And again, I'm not pointing out things to pick on you guys, but I believe there is this like, oh, this is the way you guys are, and you really don't look at your own house. If we look at European history, leave Islam out of it. Approximately 4 million Christians, whether you call them Protestant or Catholic, took each other out. 2 supposed followers of Jesus Christ, Sunni and Shia, did the same thing. I'm not going to deny that. But were they following Christianity? If they both believe in Jesus, why are they white? 4 million people died because of that, approximately. Can double check my facts. Sunni and Shia killed each other too. Iraq versus Iran. None of them are following Islam or Christianity, in my opinion. And that's been my message to the whole world. That is my message to the whole world. So it depends. If you're going to use this filter, use it yourselves. You know, use it yourselves. Look in the mirror too. I blame the people, not the doctrine. I've never blamed Christianity for what's happened. I don't blame it for colonialism. But I believe the same way you're using that metric with my faith, you're not being fair. And that's my honest opinion. So that's what I'm saying. If you're going to use that metric to measure the faith and what we did and what we didn't do, if we look into the mirror, if we do the research, hundreds of millions of people lost their lives and were coerced into Christianity the same way you're trying to claim Islam was.
So
the Greeks were under the Turks for how long? 500 years. They're still Orthodox.
Okay.
The Serbs. I can go on and on. Many nations that were under Muslim rule that are still Christian today.
Okay, can I respond now?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I totally agree. Oftentimes, there are other variables that are causing war. Again, I will reiterate my point. I'm not looking at something in the Middle East and going, Islam's fault. I'm looking at specific connecting factors. That's important because, again, we can go to issues in the life of Muhammad, the way he acted, the way he was a caravan robber, and the way he oppressed, and the way that he treated women, and the way he treated his... We can go to places in the Quran, like I mentioned, Surah 98, Jews and Christians are the worst of creatures. We go to Surah 3:7. If you hold on, I let you speak for a good 5 minutes, and then I didn't say anything. Please allow me the same respect. Appreciate that. Okay? We can make connections here, which are alarming to us Christians. The only reason I'm bringing in all this up is because you said you want Christians and Muslims to work together.
And not kill each other. Simple.
Exactly. I completely agree. The problem is when we go into the data, when we run the numbers, it is not the Christian's fault 99% of the time. Overwhelmingly, this is coming from Islam. And the reason it's coming from Islam is because of we can see the specific doctrines in the hadith. You just admitted to me apostates should be killed in Islam. That is alarming on so many levels. You're saying you don't want violence, but your religion is demanding it. If somebody, I have friends that are ex-Muslim or Christian, and they get death threats all the time from Muslims. Now, you said we should work together.
I get death threats from everybody.
Let me ask a question.
Christians, Muslims, and Jews.
Let me ask a question. How can we work together when people in your camp say they want to join my camp, and then people in your camp say they should be killed? This is not us working together. This is one side trying to oppress, humiliate, subjugate us, and wipe us out. There's even a hadith that says the end will not come until the Muslims fight the Jews and they overcome the Jews, and the Jews hide behind rocks and trees, except this one tree.
That's post-Antichrist.
But still, that is calling for violence that's supposed to come. This is a religion that says we need to keep pushing violence. The House of Islam needs to fight the House of War until the world is subjugated. I wish we could work together. But again, when I look into the world, when I look at who all the martyrs are, who are the terrorist groups, it tells a different story, different than what you're telling. And I'm saying, clean up your house so that we can work together, and then I would be with you on that.
Will you guys ever use the same fairness? For example, like the guy in the New Zealand the New Zealand mosque massacre, Christchurch?
Yes, he was prosecuted.
He was never called a Christian terrorist, though. Even they had crosses all over his gun. Playing Serbian nationalist songs with, like, why is the same fairness not shown in the media when fellow Christians don't call it out? I mean, the guy literally walked into a mosque and said, "Peace, brother, welcome, open fire, 100 Muslims dead." That was ideological. It was Christian fanaticism. Never once called a Christian terrorist, even though I don't believe he was a Christian.
I agree.
You can't be a Christian and take life unjustly. It's only to defend yourself. And I agree. Christians have a right to defend themselves if they're being attacked or even oppressed. And so does Islam. What people did and how they did, that's on them, brother. They're going to face God one day. but you cannot force people to become Muslim. I believe the context of apostatism is because of how dangerous it was back then, because of the alliances and treachery that was going on. There was what are known as the munafiqun, hypocrites who pretended to be Muslim only to try to destroy Islam. I guess it was once you're in the faith and you come out of the faith, that's why there's that, because basically you're committing treason at that point. I don't think it's something that needs to be done in today's world. I don't think anybody would convert to the faith, to simply leave it. Now, can people leave if they don't believe it? I think they should have that right. But I think it was more in the context of that time, the wars that were going on, and the treachery that was committed by certain tribes.
I appreciate you saying that. I wish more Muslims thought like you. I really do. But again, I had a debate with a Muslim because he wanted to defend child marriage. And if you go through the comments, all the Muslims are on his side. You're the exception, Beck. You're not the rule. And that's why we Christians are standing against Islam and fighting and saying we can't work with this side. Please clean up your own house. We do. The Christian terrorist you mentioned, yeah, horrible guy, thrown in prison. But when like things like happen in the Middle East, like Christians are attacked, I see the Islamic world celebrating. I don't see the Christian world celebrating when that guy went into that mosque and shot it up. People were mortified. The Christian nation threw him in prison and treated him as a terrorist he was. Meanwhile, when things like October 7th happen or bad things happen where Christians are being persecuted, they're celebrating. This is what I want more Muslims to be like you, Beck.
If you're going to sit here and act, I am a public influencer that talks about these topics, right? I'm not a scholar of your caliber. I respect.
I'm not a scholar.
But you're very well read, and I respect that because I think that's why people like us can sit at the table and talk. I think ignorance is the biggest enemy of all faiths, humanity, period. When you talk about, cleaning up the house, I think that's what needs to be done. Muslims need to look at what's going on. Christians need to look at what's going on. But we need to be fair. You guys always want to call us P-files. I should use that word, right? And you talk about cleaning up your house. Yet, and we can get into child marriage if you want. I do not condone child marriage.
Good.
We can put things into context. I think anyone that marries anyone under the age of 18 should be executed.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, and I'll say that publicly. Well,
what a statement.
I'm just saying, like, if I had a daughter, bro, and she was 14 and somebody wanted to marry her, I'd have a problem with that. I would probably be in prison.
How do you make sense of Muhammad marrying Aisha and consummating the marriage in 9?
I'll get to that in 2 seconds. Just let me finish my point. When we're going to talk about cleaning up our houses, you guys shouldn't be worrying about the Muslims right now. Your Christians, by association, have up to 700,000 open cases of sexual abuse with children. First from the Catholic Church, now the Anglican Church in the UK. The head bishop had to resign. I don't agree with what's going on in the UK. If there are Muslim rape gangs that you cannot be a Muslim and rape a woman. The punishment is death. I don't think you can rape women and be a Christian. I think the punishment would be the same thing. We know from the Old Testament the punishment for adultery is death. That's not even raping someone, right? So, yeah, I will call them out. I hope the UK rounds up those grooming gangs, and I would love to see them executed publicly for harming children and women. And that is what our religion teaches us. But I don't hear the outcry as much, not from you, I know you do, but from the Christian world. If we're going to talk about cleaning up our houses, let's start with the Catholic Church.
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode.